Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, leadership, real leadership, is about knowing how to understand it all. Maybe not do it all, but understand it all. From the entry level to the executive level, if you are a leader, you should understand all facets of this journey. What I'm noticing in society right now is because someone has a certain level of accolades, or maybe because they have a certain amount of followers, that then this deems them a leader. I'm not jumping down anyone's throat or talking bad about them. But what's happening is people are now getting backlash when they give certain advice or information, and then people look at them like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to be the one who's helping us understand what's going on? Again, you have CEOs talking about how their employees need to work harder and how they're ungrateful. In situations like this, where you start to recognize that people are not attuned with the emotional intelligence part of leadership. It's easy to be logical. I know a lot of people sit around thinking like, oh, they're so smart and they're so wise. It is easy to recite information that you studied and you retain, right? It is easy to understand how to go out into the world and then go get a degree or go to school and say, okay, I did this thing, now I passed. Trust me, I have enough certifications, degrees, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That doesn't make me an expert. What makes me an expert, in my opinion, is that I participate. I engage in the process of learning. I don't just stop just because I make it to a certain level. Leadership is a continuous process of learning and growing and expanding your own experience so that you have wisdom to give back, so that you have wisdom to guide others. We keep getting lost in translation, believing that leadership means if you talk the loudest, if you have the most money, if you have the most assets, that's what leadership is. It is not. We can look at the world and the platforms that we have to represent leadership today, and you can tell a lot of these people are emotionally stunted. They're emotionally immature. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they are. They don't even know what they're doing in these positions. They just know they have a certain level of power. And that's the part of the polarized duality of being a leader, right? There's one aspect of you do all the work as far as setting up what it's supposed to look like, and then you delegate so that it can be executed. And if you're a good orchestrator or a good director, you can understand where each piece fits, and then you get the bigger picture. That is the power of understanding how to have strategy, right? That is the power in understanding what action and execution look like. But it's not just making sure that people do it the way you like. That's not what leadership is about either. It's not about trying to get people to bully others. It's not about trying to start a club where now you feel like, well, they're not participating in the environment that I like, so get rid of them. Leadership is about training. Leadership is about letting that person know, hey, what's going on? Where do you feel you're lacking, or where do you feel that you're not fitting in, or where do you feel that you need to understand more so that we can help integrate you into this community, group, whatever, right? This is how you retain employees. This is how you retain friendships. It doesn't matter if they're getting paid or not, because everything holds a currency, right? Time is a currency, money is a currency, love is a currency, emotions themselves are currencies, because you're giving something away in return of hopes for something. As a leader, all your job is to do is to provide a clear path, and then you get the hell out of the way. That's it. Don't sit there and try to be the main person that's getting all the attention because your name is on the headliner. That's not leadership. Leadership is saying, I know how to do it all, and I expect that because I can do it all, if all I need you to do is this part, show up and show out, right? Everyone loves the new Beyonce film. I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen snippets, and I understand that mindset. I understand that mindset of vision. When you have a vision, then you have to take time going through each piece of that vision to make sure that it's an operating part. And once that part is an operational part, that is not the whole machine. That is just a part that is integral to how it works. So when you are able to say, okay, as a leader, it's not always going to go my way. As a leader, I'm not always going to see it the way others see it. But as a leader, I have to swallow my pride, step out of my ego, step aside, and see what others are able to present. Because a lot of these leaders are losing really good connections and relationships with people who would do anything for them had they gave them the proper training, had they gave them the proper empathy of understanding, hey, I was a beginner once and now I'm trying to get to a level of mastery, and they hold space for them, right? It's not about you saying, well, they're not doing what I want them to do, so punish them. Do you understand how that sounds? Do you understand it makes it sound like you're someone's parent? This is why emotional trauma work matters, because a lot of people go out, get these jobs, get these titles, and then they repeat the cycle of abuse and trauma from their childhood of what they think leadership looks like, what they think control does in the end. Control gets things done, but it doesn't mean that people are going to agree with you. It doesn't mean that people are going to like you. I understand that statement can be a dualistic point of, yes, leadership sometimes means making decisions that people might not like, but if it's for the benefit of all, then that's the decision you have to make. But if it's a benefit for only you, that is not leadership, period. So I want you people to implore and recognize when you see someone walk into a room and they're trying to tell everybody what to do and they have a certain attitude about them. I don't do that whole alpha beta stuff. It exists for a reason, because we are all children once, and we have to learn through give and take. Some of us learn from being passive and sitting back. Some of us learn from being action oriented and going and getting it. It's about the trifecta. It's about being that sigma energy, whatever word you want to use, as long as you understand that it is about a tertiary aspect of understanding that I can see the whole perimeter, I can see the whole blueprint, and I need to make sure that I have a team of people and a team of community that wants to support this vision. When you have that, trust them, love them, treat them with respect, because these are human beings with their own minds. They are not little tools and toys that you can use at your leisure and disposal, okay? So leadership is about creating a path, a simple path. It doesn't matter how much work it took for you to clear that path, because as a leader, you took that first step. And it's not about punishing the people who come after you. Well, I had to do this and that. No one told you to, right? If you're being a leader out of vanity, it's always going to fall on your face anyways. You have to do it out of love. It has to be out of empathy. It has to be from a place that you see is needed, so that others don't feel so lost when they step into this journey as well. All right? I hope that makes sense. Love ya. Mwah.